sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys.
Good evening, what's up and what's good? And welcome to All About Sports 216 with me, Keith Allen, on this Tuesday evening. I gotta give myself a hand. I finally came on the day I'm supposed to come on a Tuesday, which originally that's what I've been saying, coming on the Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. Yes, All About Sports 216. This your man Keith Allen. Welcome to the show today. I have a lot to talk about today. Excuse me as I share the show and whatnot. I have a lot to talk about in sports. First, we're going to talk about Myles Garrett dropped the bomb over the weekend. Well, dropped the bomb on Monday at the beginning of the week. Myles wants out, and I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. Also, we also going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who sport the NBA's best record at 40-9. They play host to the Boston Celtics in about an hour and a half. Big game. Everybody for Boston is healthy. We're missing a couple of people. We're missing Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade. But hey, we got to go out there and take care of business. Also, we're going to talk about the surprising trade that happened over the weekend between the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, the trade that happened between the Sacramento Kings, the three-way trade with Sacramento, Chicago Bulls, and the San Antonio Spurs, which was a big trade as well. Plus, I'm also going to discuss our Cleveland State Vikings, who have won 13 in a row. They have the second longest winning streak in Division 1. Also, the Ohio State Buckeyes. When you win it all, sometimes you can lose it all. The Buckeyes have lost both coordinators, both offensive and defensive coordinators. And that would be about it for about 45 minutes to an hour or so. And also, last but not least, also, spring training is in 2 weeks for the Guardians and the Yankees. I had to mention the Yankees in there. I'm a Yankee fan, but I still got love for the home team and everything. And also, I want to wish her congratulations to CC Sabathia for making the Hall of Fame. CC Sabathia started his career with the Cleveland Indians and pitched with the Milwaukee Brewers for a minute. Then he ended up with the New York Yankees, and he helped win their last title back in 2009. Shout out to CC. But let's get to the league story of the night. Myles Garrett is out on the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett demanded a trade on Monday. Myles Garrett has been an 8-year vet with the Browns. Been here since he began as a rookie out of Texas A&M. First pick in the 2017 draft. Myles wants out. And honestly, I don't blame him. I really can't blame him. Think about it. This team was in the playoffs last year. They were in the playoffs last year. And then all of a sudden tanked and went 3-14. 3-14. Imagine that. 3-14 from a playoff team a year ago. And I said this about a year and a half ago that Miles Garrett wasn't going to go out like Joe Thomas. I definitely said that. And a few other people have said that as well. That he wasn't going out like Joe Thomas, where he was going to spend his whole career here and everything. And he really said some things that really got back at General Manager Andrew Berry when he said, hey, his road is to win the Super Bowl, not go from Cleveland to Canton. Otherwise, he's not settled on the fact of losing with the Browns. He's not. And I can't blame him. Think about it. He gave the Browns 8 years. Eight. 8 of the damnedest years. And he came to the Browns first year. Guess what the Browns' record was first year Myles Garrett came here in 2017? They were 0-16. Think about that. And then they go all the way back now to 3-14. And basically in the last few weeks she tanked. And I take it that the game plan that Berry and Stefanski set forth to Miles, I take it that didn't go over too well with Miles. I take it he didn't take that too well. So Miles wants out on the Browns. Now, if you're the Cleveland Browns, what do you do? Of course, you don't have to trade him. You don't, but that will lead probably to a messy situation, running in the training camp or whatnot. And I think, honestly, the Browns will eventually trade him. I would say trade him, try to get some draft picks because, for real, this team is nowhere near contending for anything. Except maybe the number 1 pick for next year as well. Just being real. For the number 1 pick next year as well. But this team is nowhere near contending at all. No chance, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm in the minority where I feel they have to get a quarterback and they might as well start with a rookie. You have a few to choose from. You have Cam Ward of Miami, if he doesn't go first. You have Shedeur Sanders of Colorado, which Shedeur gang probably fits most with Kevin Stefanski. And Shedeur probably has the mindset where he could take this on. Because think about it. He went to Jackson State. Before Shedeur and Dion got there, Jackson State sucked. He got them to prominence. Before they got to Colorado, Colorado was god awful, terrible. Shedeur and them got them to prominence, got them respectable, and got them must-see TV every week during the college football season. So if anybody can handle the pressure coming to Cleveland, it would probably be Shedeur. He's probably the most made for this. But we'll see what the Browns do in the draft or whatnot. But like I said, more than likely, they'll probably have to part ways with Myles Garrett. And it will probably have effect on other veterans as well, as far as you have Denzel Ward, who's been here for some time. You have Nick Chubb, who's probably a free agent this year, whether he wants to come back or not. Or he might want to pursue interest with another team somewhere now. Because the Browns now, if you trade Myles Garrett, they're in full rebuild. Joe Patonio, there's a chance that he might not come back. He may retire. So the Browns got a lot of questions to answer this offseason. And you got to look at the fact also, the Browns are also about $60 million over the cap. So they're in salary cap hell. So right now it's looking pretty grim for the Browns right about now. And this is why I said what I said before. I said Jimmy needed to clean house. Clean house with Stefanski and Barry and get a whole new attitude, a whole new energy in the room. Reassign DePodesta, make him in charge of the Dome Committee, get the Stadium Built Committee or whatever and stuff, and hire a football guy, preferably a football guy as a GM or president, and let the GM hire the coach and just a whole different energy. Because think about this. Stefanski's been here for 5 years. Barry's been here for 5 years. And 2 of the 5 years, the Browns have finished over 500 and went to the playoffs. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. We talking 2 out of 5 that they finished over 500. And as with last place schedules in the years they did, finished over 500. He won Coach of the Year twice, but I mean, come on. I mean, they got one playoff victory, but Stefanski wasn't there. He was at home. The guys they fired in the offseason from last year coached that team in the playoffs. Mike Prefer was the coach of that team in the playoffs. Alex Van Pelt, who was sent packing last year, was the offensive coordinator of that team in the playoffs, that game. So, and like I said, the Browns' success rate with Stefanski and Barry, and that just shows how bad we want a winning football team. It's only 40% success rate. If you score a test and 40%, that's a F. That's failure. Failure. Especially when you go 3-14. You bottom out like you did. Now, a lot of stuff you could say, well, maybe it was all people say it was Deshaun's fault, but trust and believe it was more stuff going on with that team than just Deshaun, to be honest. But looks like the Browns bridge has fallen down. They're going to be in full rebuild. And to be honest, do you really want to see Kirk Cousins here next year? Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, who else? Now, if the Rams were to trade Matthew Stafford, I would probably go for that for a year or two, but you're only going to have him for a year or two, and then what? Browns are going to have to draft a quarterback, because every year you can't keep kicking the can down the road, and that's the only way they can escape this. They're going to have to draft a quarterback, and if you got the quote-unquote quarterback whisperer in Stefanski, he should be able to make it happen. Or if not, fire him. Jimmy should have fired everybody. He made the same mistake back in 2018 when Hugh Jackson went 0-16 in 2017, and he brought Hugh Jackson back for the next year with a rookie quarterback. He ended up firing him, and the confusion just began because Baker had like 3 or 4 different offensive coordinators in the time or whatever, coaches and all that stuff. And they're making the same mistake 7 years later, where Barry and Stefanski should have been gone, should have been jettisoned out of here. Because Myles Garrett has no hope in Barry and them getting this team right. He has no hope in that. And honestly, Myles Garrett deserves a chance to go to a Super Bowl, or at least play on a playoff contender that can contend for the Super Bowl. So, hey, like I said, I don't blame Miles. He's done nothing but show blood, guts, and tears for the Browns in 8 years. So, hey, I don't blame him. But the Browns got a lot of things to think about this offseason. A whole lot of stuff to think about. But going away from the sad news, let's go to the good news. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who sport the NBA's best record at 40-9, and also have 3 All-Star representatives in Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell, take on the second team in the East right now, the defending world champion Boston Celtics, tonight at 7:30 and 15 minutes. The game is nationally telecast on TNT as well. Also, I forgot to tell y'all something real quick. I forgot to note here also, I don't know why, what I'm doing is I got to talking ahead of myself. The note. Also, the chat lines are open, so feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are open. The Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Boston Celtics. The Cavs have won 4 in a row. And they take on a Celtic team that last time I watched them on Sunday, they was down by about 30 against Philadelphia and then shot themselves out of a cannon in the late third and fourth quarter to defeat the 76ers. So it should be a pretty entertaining game because Boston has everybody back. Nobody's injured, full roster. The Cavs are missing Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro. But I expect a pretty highly contested game, and I expect the Cavs to pull it out. That's just being a homer in me. Forget that. I expect the Cavs to pull it out tonight. Cavs are heading towards the All-Star break. They got 3 representatives. Last time they had 3 representatives a couple of times. They had 3 representatives back in '89 with Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, and I'm trying to think of who else was Larry Nance, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They had 3 back in '89, and they had 3 another time. I know they definitely had Kyrie and LeBron a few times. But the Cavs are doing it up. And hopefully they do it up tonight against the Celtics tonight. And the Cavs have yet to make any roster moves ahead of the NBA trade deadline, which is slowly approaching, which will be here on Thursday. Imagine that. Time done went that fast. That just shows time waits on no one. But there have been a couple of trades. A blockbuster surprise trade that caught everybody off guard Saturday night. Late Saturday night. A lot of people probably was watching the Lakers versus Knicks. And then about an hour or so after the game, this trade went down. The Dallas Mavericks sent Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic and Max Kleber and Markieff Morris to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis. And it was another kid. Oh my God. There's another kid. For Anthony Davis, primarily Anthony Davis. And it was and the Christie kid, who plays like small forward and guard. And a first round pick. The 2029 first round pick, something like that. Which caught everybody by surprise. I ain't gonna lie, when I seen it in my phone, I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was pranking me or whatever, but it appears that it wasn't no prank at all and everything. The trade went down. Dallas didn't say too much. Luka was up for a big time max extension in the summertime, which now since he got traded, he's no longer eligible for that, for the Supermax. Luka, who is out with an injury, but he is like day to day with the Lakers. Anthony Davis is out with an injury, and he's like day to day with Dallas. But I think Anthony Davis is supposed to make his debut with Dallas either Thursday or Saturday. I will say this about the trade itself. I will say this. Um, how can I say this? Dallas, for now, in the short term, has the upper hand in the trade. In the short term, far as this year, next year, then whatever they do with Anthony Davis, free agent status or whatever, then that's on them. But in the short term, if you think about that Dallas team, Anthony Davis got his wish. He did not want to play center no more. He got his wish. He got his wish, and he got Gafford and Lively whenever he gets back. And he has PJ Washington. Dallas has a big front line. Real big front line. And you go with Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Dinwiddie. Should be interesting with Dallas. It should be very interesting. I think Dallas is the trade for Dallas is for now. For the Lakers, is for now and beyond. Where you have Luka that's paired with LeBron now. And as far as all the stuff about Luka being out of shape and everything, the King will tighten him up. He'll get him tightened up. He'll get him tightened up and everything. And Luka is going to take this Lakers team into the 2030s whenever LeBron decides to sit it down and stuff or whatnot. Now, the Lakers, right now this year, I wouldn't consider, they will be tough in the playoffs, but they're going to be severely undersized unless they get a center. Unless they get a center. And Dallas also made another trade today. They traded for Caleb Martin also as well. And they sent Grimes packing. So Dallas is going more on the defensive front with Caleb Martin. Good defensive ball player. Good defensive ball player. The Lakers, Dallas, the trade for Dallas is for now. This year, next year, and maybe the year after that. Until Anthony Davis, till they decide what they want to do with Anthony Davis as a free agent or whatnot, because then Anthony Davis will be about 34 or something like that, because he's about 32 right now, 31, 32 years old right now. Where the Lakers, with Luka, the Lakers done did it again. Got them a superstar to take him into the next decade. And to take over when LeBron finally decides to hang it up. Also, there was other trades. The Sacramento Kings unloaded De'Aaron Fox as they traded De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a three-way trade, which the Sacramento Kings got Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls, and Chicago got some kids from the Spurs. Got some guys from the Spurs. Don't know their names in particular, but particularly the main two players was Zach LaVine going to the Sacramento Kings and De'Aaron Fox going to the Spurs, and you pair him with Wembanyama. San Antonio is slowly building around him. Slowly building around Victor Wembanyama. I don't consider San Antonio a threat yet in the playoffs. They may or may not make the plan. I don't know, because San Antonio has been on the skids lately, losing. And in the West, it's really congested in the West. But the future is bright for the Spurs. The future is definitely bright for the Spurs. Now, the NBA trade deadline is Thursday at 4 p.m., I think. 4 p.m. So If the Cavs make any trades, hey, I might post a video or something like that. But I'm going to pivot along to college basketball because in Cleveland, we got one of the best kept secrets in the nation. Our Cleveland State Vikings, who are 17-6 in first place in the Horizon League, have won 13 games in a row. They beat Purdue Fort Wayne last week on the road in a tough contest, but the Cleveland State Vikings pulled it through. The Vikings will be on the road tomorrow night as they take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night. Saturday, the Cleveland State Vikings will be back home to take on second place Wisconsin-Milwaukee. So go out, check the Vikings out. They're tough. They're a tough team. Real tough team. Good team. Good team. Good team. And they need all the support you can get as they go against Wisconsin-Milwaukee on Saturday. The Vikings are 11-1 in first place, all alone in the Horizon League. And 17-6 overall. They've won 13 in a row, which is the second longest streak in Division I, behind Duke. Blue Devils done won 15 in a row. Imagine that. I'll just say this. Come on, Vikings. Keep it going. Get that NCAA tournament bid, because you know how it is in them conferences, in the mid-major conferences, that you have to win the tournament. You have to win the conference tournament in order to get in the big dance. Think about it. We're already in February. Also, for those of y'all that's locally around, Glenville played Rhodes today for the city championship in the boys basketball in the Senate. I don't know the score. Of course, I don't know the score and everything, but let's see if I can go on my little cheat sheet and find out something. Let's see. Let's see if I can go on here on my little cheat sheet. Let's see. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. No score in progress. They got the game in progress. But Glenville is playing Rhodes for the Senate title. And also, shout out to my son, to my nephew's school. My nephew's school, Garrett Morgan, they was in the Senate playoffs. They got put out by Glenville over the weekend. They lost to them 99-80. But Garrett Morgan has had a good season so far. They're like 11-6, something like that. But Glenville and Rhodes is going at it as we speak and everything. Now, I wanted to talk about something also with the Cleveland, and also the Cleveland State women are doing pretty well themselves. They're 18-5, 9-3 overall. Now, you asked me who they play. We're going to find out right now. And they're like in third place in the Horizon League in the Horizon League in women's basketball. Cheer on the Lady Vikings. If I can get their score up. If I can get who they play next. Let's see. I'm up here going on my cheat sheet. Rolling down, scrolling. NCAA Women's. Let's see. February 5th. Cleveland State Lady Vikings will play tomorrow morning. Got a morning game. As they go against the University of Detroit Mercy. Cleveland State Lady Vikings, I get the standings up right now. They sit in third place in the Horizon League behind Purdue Fort Wayne and Wisconsin Green Bay. The Lady Vikings are 9-3 and 18-5 overall. And 5 overall. Go Lady Vikes tomorrow against Detroit. And go male Vikings tomorrow at Northern Kentucky. Let's get them wins, CSU. Let's get them wins. Now I'm going to go to another story, staying in college. We can go to football with Ohio State. As shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes. the national champions as they defeated Notre Dame a few weeks ago. Well, when you win, your coaching staff gets rated. When you win, your coaching staff gets rated. So, break this down. Ohio State lost first their defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles is now assuming the same position at Penn State, at rival Penn State, Big Ten rival Penn State. That's going to be interesting. Because Penn State ain't beat Ohio State in God knows how long. God knows how long. And then also, just yesterday, or the day before, I think yesterday, Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, accepted the same position with the Las Vegas Raiders under newly hired head coach Pete Carroll. So Ohio State now doesn't have any coordinators. They don't have the offensive coordinator or their defensive coordinator. More than likely, they'll probably promote within or find somebody or something like that. Because, you know, when you win, they raid your coaching staff. When you win. I said, man. I said, that's wild. But hey, also go to something. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get him, give him my captions and everything. I ain't got no captions. This is also Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week. Where you got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Kansas City Chiefs, I expected them to be there. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, I had as the dark horse pick in the NFC in case Detroit didn't make it. And I had them beating Washington and everything. Now, the Eagles got there by defeating Washington 55-24, and Kansas City got there by defeating Buffalo 32-29. It should be an interesting game. Very close. To me, very close. I'll tell you who I think is going to win on Sunday as I do a pre-Super Bowl show on Sunday. Probably do it around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Pre-Super Bowl show where I'll have my prediction and let you know who I think is going to pull it out. Shout out to Clevelanders, Travis Kelce, and Kareem Hunt. That's in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt finally getting his chance to go to the Super Bowl now, since, you know, he had his time here with the Browns or whatnot. And he started off with the Chiefs originally. But then he came to the Browns, and now he's back with the Chiefs. And he's in the Super Bowl now. Shout out to Kareem Hunt. Should be a very interesting game. It will be close. That's all I gotta say. It will be close. I'll give y'all my prediction on Sunday. But, hey, that's my... Oh, also, and I got one more note. In 2 weeks, spring training will begin for the Guardians. They started unloading their stuff, and the trucks are on their way to Goodyear, Arizona. Guardians are, let's see, if you look at the AL Central Division right now, honestly, if you look at the 5 teams in the AL Central, you got the Cleveland Guardians, who won the division last year. You got the Detroit Tigers, who took the Guardians to the brink last year in the playoffs. And you got the KC Royals, who went to the playoffs as well in the Central Division. And you got the Minnesota Twins, and you got the Chicago White Sox bringing up the rear. Honestly, I can't tell you who I think is going to win that division. Because, truthfully, I wouldn't be shocked if any of the first 4 teams that I mentioned, excluding the Chicago White Sox, could win that division. The Guardians can win the division. But it's hard for me to say, and it's hard for me to believe that the Guardians are going to be better than they was last year since they let go of Andres Jimenez. They traded him. And they also traded their second best hitter, Josh Naylor. And what we get for him, I don't know. And the Guardians' payroll went down as well. And like I said, with the Guardians, this is what makes me sick about them. They con the fans every time. They do the shell game to the fans. They'll tell them, well, we'll spend money if you come support the team. Guardians drew over 2 million last year. They had to. They drew over 2 million last year. So why his payroll went down? Why? Why? Somebody tell me why did the Guardians' payroll went down? That makes no sense. And you expect me to have faith that this team is just as good or better as last year's team? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, especially with your whole right side of the infield gone. Whole right side of the infield gone. Now, first base, they did pick up Carlos Santana, and Manzardo should be ready to fill in and play more. Okay. But Manzardo hasn't did it over a whole year. And Santana is 38. Second base. You got now Jimenez didn't hit that well. But fielding, that dude is out of this world. One of the best fielders in the game. Period. He saved a lot of runs for that pitching staff. And now you expect me for them to put anybody up there that's better than him defensively? Might get a little more offensively, but that remains to be seen. Because you got Brito. You got Ben Zetta, who was their first round pick last year, but I hear he's about a year away. But I mean, myself, I'd rather see Benzana here. I'd rather see Benzana up. And I'd rather see Chase DeLauder up. And I want Jackenzie Noel to get his full shot in right field. Especially if they're going to eventually trade Blaine Thomas. Which I don't know if they're going to do that now or not, but you never know with the Guardians, to be honest. You never know. And the pitching rotation, questionable. Besides Trevor Bybee and Gavin Williams, and they picked up another guy from Pittsburgh who could be like the third starter. But what you going to do fourth and fifth? Is it going to be Tristan McKenzie? Is it going to be the left-hand kid that the Guardians had that was back and forth between here and the minors? The left-hand kid? Who? Fourth and fifth starters is a mystery. It's a mystery for the Guardians. So you can't tell me that this team is better than last year's. But, hey, we'll see. Because, you know, the Guardians don't never win the offseason. But they get stuff together during the regular season. So, and, the Guardians and the Browns are like the mere opposites of each other. The Browns make the big splash in the offseason. Then they bottom out during the season. The Guardians don't really make no big splashes, but next thing you know, they're in contention. Imagine that. But really, if you look at it, me being a Yankee fan, you might as well call it the Los Angeles Dodgers Invitational this year. Because the Dodgers got a starting rotation of 5 number 1 starters. The bullpen, damn near everybody in the bullpen had at least 10 saves last year. So, if the Dodgers don't win 120 games, I will be disappointed in the Dodgers myself. I will definitely be disappointed in the Dodgers my damn self. But I'm a Yankee fan, so I gotta believe. So hey, Yankees gonna be back. Be back. Might get back to the World Series. Hey, my plan fell through because me, I didn't want Boone no more as a manager. I actually thought that Tito Francona would have became the Yankees manager, but Tito went to Cincinnati while the Yankees was in the World Series and whatnot. So hey, I'm stuck with Boone. But hey, baseball season is coming up. Spring training starts in a couple of weeks. So hey, it's gonna be an interesting month. But I will say this before I leave. Make sure, and I had to learn this the hard way myself because, I'm the poster child for hard-headedness. I'm the poster child for hard-headedness. Make sure you take care of yourself. You have to come first because if you're not right, nothing around you is going to be right. So make sure you look out and take care of yourself, everyone that I'm talking to. Because if you're not right, nothing around you is going to be right. And that's some real stuff coming from me. Trust me, I know. Because I've been looking out for everybody else, but I neglected myself. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been on in the last couple of weeks. I neglected myself. But first step is realizing the problem. And then the second step is doing something and taking action about the problem. So I'm going to take an action. Think about it. I came on my actually right assigned day. I didn't say I was coming on a Tuesday and ended up coming on Thursday. I didn't say I was coming on Tuesday and ended up coming on a Friday or coming on a Saturday. I came on a Tuesday. Imagine that. So, hey, I will be on every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Every Tuesday. From here on out, I'm going to have some more things, more exciting things in store. I'm going to have some guests on the show and whatnot. It's 2025. It's going to be a great year. Definitely going to be a great year. Got off to a little slow start, but hey, it's February. Who's counting? But anyway, everybody, have a good night. Have a positive week. Stay prayed up. Be present of your surroundings. Be careful out here because it's wicked out here, scandalous out here. Also, I forgot to do one more thing. I forgot. Forgive me. Also, I got my shirts and everything. I got my sweatshirts and stuff and my t-shirts and my All About Sports t-shirts. I didn't wear that today. I got the Black History thing because this is Black History Month. Even though they're saying we shouldn't celebrate that, celebrate it, get the fuck out of here. I'm celebrating this Black History Month. But please shop with Anointed Angel Apparel. I got to get that right. I got to get the picture all the way right. Shop with Anointed Angel Apparel. You can call her up at 216-254-5817. That's 216-254-5817. Also, I had another one too. Let me see. I had another one. Let me go up. Oh, well, I don't got. That's overlays. Okay. Yep. But shop with Angel at Anointed Angel Apparel. But anyway, keep it in the family. But anyway, I'm about to get up off of here. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy the game. Go Cavs. Beat out the Celtics tonight. And I'm out. I got through a show and didn't cuss. Oh, man, I'm improving already. But anyway, this is your man, Keith Allen for All About Sports 216. Have a good and safe week, everybody. And I'll see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. as I do my Super Bowl special. And I will tell you who I think is going to win the Super Bowl 59. It's your man, Keith Allen. I'm out of here. Peace. Have a good night. Be safe, everybody. And go Cavs!
Love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash
We in
mouth,
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the
Press,
sport.
man.
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth,
We in
baby.
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the
Press,
sport.
man.
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full